Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Chinna for the kind introduction, kind invitation to come here. I mean, we've been working with Dr. Sinababu for last four or so years since COVID times, and we did many projects. So again, thank you for coming. So today, what I will do is I will talk a little bit of some of the general overview a little bit on how AI is becoming a force in drug discovery or drug design and development, right? So we also, in IIIT, we also do work on other AI for healthcare activities in collaboration with many hospitals, and some of the my colleagues are presenting it in the other track. Okay, so in the area of AI for drug discovery, we also work with many partners like Google, of course, AWS, Origin in India, Thermo Fisher, and then in silico medicine and so on, right? So we have been involved in this area for the past 5 to 6 years, very actively, and we have done some good work. Okay, so I'm gonna basically split this into three sections in this talk, right? Because I wasn't really sure who the audience will be, so I thought I will keep it reasonably general, and then have couple or 2 or 3 examples at the end from our own work, which again can, if it gets too technical later, please forgive me, but I'll try to keep it as general as possible. So first, I thought I will quickly introduce again. This is something that may be very obvious, or for a lot of you. But just please bear with me in this process. So of course, first, what I want to do is to quickly look at how the process of drug discovery has evolved over years, right? So the Dr. Ranga, maybe he will talk about the regulatory aspects in the next talk, but see the process of drug discovery, we will look at it, right? So how it has developed over years, right? And how we have come to a point where it is extremely complicated, right? Basically, we don't, especially in drug discovery, the first thing we talk about is, fail first, right? We don't talk about success, right? We want to fail as early as possible. Okay, so that's the first thing we talk about, not even how successfully we'll come out and so on, right? So why it is so complex, because there are reasons. I'm sure he will talk about it, right? So I just want to quickly go over how the process of drug discovery evolved over years, and then second one is how computations, drug, when you talk about health, or when you talk about science or biochemistry or pharmacology, or any of these things that are involved in the drug discovery process, these are all experimental sciences, right? So how did the computations, that means work done on computers, is relevant in drug discovery? So that I will introduce, maybe for 2-3 minutes, and then finally I will talk about what are the ways in which the AI is revolutionizing this particular area. Okay, so the first one, the evolution of drug discovery process. For this, I would like to take a simple example of a drug, right? Can someone recognize what this drug is? Some of you may be taking also, actually. Just a clue, this is one of the most widely used drug in, sorry? This is aspirin, actually, right? But related, but NSAID, but anyway, so so this it's this is one of the most widely used drugs in the market, and we at least produce 100 billion pills every year. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to take this drug as an example, and then see how it has evolved over years. Okay, so that's the story of aspirin, and it is believed this particular, not in form of aspirin, but the active component of aspirin, has been believed to be in use for 3,000 or 3,000 plus 2,000, 5,000 years, right? At least we have written records, right, from 400 BC. That's at least 2,500 or so years, right? So how did we use it? Basically we take the extract from this particular tree called willow tree. Again, that should be familiar to all of us, because that's the tree That's the tree with which the cricket bats are made, right? So the barks of this willow tree extract was used for pain and temperature reduction, right, for fever and pain management. Okay, so we had at that point, of course, we had absolutely no idea of how this works or what in this particular extract is actually doing the or is responsible for the pharmacological activity. Okay, so until late 1800s, where it was found that this particular component, which is acetyl salicylic acid, was found to be the component which actually does the work for you, right? It doesn't matter if you drink the whole extract or if you take a little bit of this acetyl salicylic acid, and in principle you can get it done. So this is much later. The Bayer patented it and then modified it, because so one of the major side effects of having the willow extract or acetyl salicylic acid is internal bleeding, and that exists even with aspirin a little bit, but aspirin is improved because the internal bleeding reduces and so on, right? So anyway, so that's how the aspirin started long time ago, without knowing what a drug is, without knowing anything, and at some point we realized the structure of aspirin, or the molecular structure of aspirin, or the component in willow trees, and then we made aspirin.